Now for perspective is Washington Post columnist Josh Rogin, who is also the author of the great book Chaos Under Heaven: Trump, Xi, and the Battle for the 21st Century. Good morning, Josh. We've been watching this. You so closely watch every word that these two leaders say, given it's so highly choreographed. They've barely mentioned the invasion of Ukraine.
Right, Kaitlan. Well, that's for a very simple reason, is that President Xi Jinping hasn't condemned the invasion of Ukraine. In fact, they're blame the United States for the war in Ukraine. And this just goes to show you that the White House has a lot of very good reasons to be skeptical, as the Ukrainians do, that the Chinese government could be any sort of arbitrary or impassioned negotiator here. I mean, let's face it, these guys are celebrating a war crime. They're celebrating the abduction and kidnapping of thousands of Ukrainian children. They are defending that. The words, speaking of words, the words that President Xi said were that China and Russia stand ready to guard the international order, okay, to stand guard over a world order that makes it safe for war crimes and repression and autocracy. So, yeah, I think that the chances that China plays a useful role in peace negotiations here are slim to none.
All right, so having said that, then you wonder how can Xi take on this role of peacemaker, right? Especially as they are considering sending lethal weapons to Russia. I mean, is he really taking on the role as peacemaker if he's considering sending weapons?
Right. I think, Don, what I'm saying here is that it's a ruse, okay, that he doesn't mean it, that it's meant to distract us from the fact that China, even before they send any weapons to Russia, is supporting the Russia war effort in Ukraine in a number of ways. They're buying the gas. They're helping them bust the sanctions. They're already sending a bunch of drones and other non-lethal supplies to the Russian invading army, and standing next to Vladimir Putin as he takes a victory lap for the war, being indicted for war crimes, is about as big a signal as you can send that what they say and what they're doing are two different things. So, yes, they say they're a peacemaker, but what I'm saying is that we have a lot of good reasons to suspect that's not true.
Sleight of hand there.
Clearly. Yeah. And, Josh, one thing, though, as the White House is watching this, though, is to see if China publicly calls for a ceasefire here. That's something that's broached during this meeting. I asked John Kirby from the National Security Council about this yesterday. This is what he told us. So if they call for a ceasefire, you believe Ukraine should and will reject that?
Yes, we do, and we would reject it as well. We think that that's an unacceptable outcome right now.
Essentially arguing that because if there was one right now, it would give Russia the land that it has invaded so far. It would give them time to potentially regroup. What did you make of the White House's stance on that? Right.
I think basically they're correct that a ceasefire advantages Russia and disadvantages Ukraine at this stage of the war, when we're expecting a new fighting season. In the spring and summer, there's going to be a new fighting season. But what's kind of funny about that is that Vladimir Putin isn't for a ceasefire either. He has no intention of obeying any sort of ceasefire. So it just goes to show you how sort of flimsy and disingenuous this Chinese peace push really is. And there's going to be more fighting. We're going to enter a very bloody spring offensive and then a very bloody counteroffensive. And the question is, are we going to give the Ukrainians the means and the resources needed to prevail in that conflict to save their democracy so they don't find themselves in an even worse position next year? And I think when we talk about a ceasefire, what we're talking about is that time is not really on Ukraine's side, that as it goes, the longer this goes on, the worse off they are. And that's why I think there's a big debate both in Congress and inside the administration, frankly, about whether to speed up the assistance so that they can win faster. Because if we let this go on for too long, eventually these lines will get dug in, and that spells disaster for the Ukrainians and horror for the people living on the Russian side of that line. Yeah, and they have major concerns about how much ammunition they're burning through in Ukraine as well. Josh Rogin, thank you so much for joining us with your perspective this morning.